Hey, welcome back. In our previous two videos, we learned how to prioritize feedback within a project and also how to manage and triage that feedback. And in this video, we're going to take a more advanced look at viewing feedback by using Centercode's built-in filters and views tool. So we're going to learn how to create a filter, how to create a view, and how we can use both in conjunction with each other. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, in order to build out filters and views, we need to access Advanced List. And we can do that by going to any of our feedback simple lists and clicking on this button up here at the top right. You can see all of that feedback goes away. And then we're left with these different options for building out our filters and views. Now, filters are going to define the rows of the data table we're about to build out. And views are going to define the columns. So keep that in mind as you're building out your filters and views and deciding what feedback you want to see and exactly how you'd like to see it. We'll start off with a filter first. I'll click on this plus button here. And we'll click on the plus button again. And then as you can see, I can pull from almost any data set within Centercode. We've got surveys, we have content, we have user accounts. In this case, because I'm looking at feedback, I'm just going to go ahead and select feedback type. And then you can see I've got tons of different data points based on that data set. So we have all of the form elements from our feedback type. We have things like impact score and popularity score and weight. So we can pull all of these in to help build out not only our filters, but also our views. So let's go ahead and define exactly what kind of feedback we'd like to see. For me, I want to see feedback with a certain severity. So this is going to be major and higher. And then it also needs to have a certain impact score. So let's say it needs to have an impact score higher than 15. So from form elements, I'm going to go ahead and select severity. And then I'm going to shift click critical and major. And we're going to add those to our filter. So both of those qualify as parts of our filter. Next up, I'm going to add another data point here. And this is going to be impact score. Filter condition is going to be more than, and my filter value is going to be 15. So there we go. So this is our filter that we're building out. It needs to have a severity of major or higher, and that impact score needs to be higher than 15. And it has to match both. We also have the option to match any. It's an OR function. So they could, if you want to, you could set it up to match either of these options here. But we need to match all. I'm going to go ahead and check the filter as well and see exactly how many pieces of feedback match my filter and make sure the filter actually works as well. And you can see that 7 out of our 72 issues actually match what I'm looking for. So great, the filter works. I'm going to save this filter. I'm going to call it high severity and high impact score. And then I can also share this filter with other members of my team. So I'm going to share it with the support team so they can also use this when they're looking for feedback and triaging feedback. I'll click create a filter. And there you go. We now have our high severity and high impact score filter. Next up, let's build out a view so we can see exactly the different parts of the feedback that matter to us. Once again, I'll just click on this plus button right here. And you can see that this looks a little different from our filter. We're still selecting data sets, so I'm going to select feedback type, so same data set right there. And then we just start double clicking to add the different view elements here. So what I'm going to do is we already have ID, but I will add a summary. We'll also add the feature, steps to reproduce, severity, and then I also want the impact score. There we go. And I can move these up and down the order as well. So if I want it to be the ID and then the impact score that's showing up, I can definitely do that. I can also group these in my view. So I want to group these by feature. So if we have 2 issues that are submitted under the same feature like controllers, they'll both be grouped together. And then I'm going to sort by impact score. And we're going to sort by descending. So the highest impact score items are going to appear at the top of our data table. Once again, I'll save the view. I'll just call this basic feedback view Polaris. Just give it a unique name there. You don't have to add a Polaris if you don't want to. We'll create that view. You can see that we have both our filter and our view ready to go. And then I'll just click Perform Action. So this is going to generate a feedback list based on my filter and my view. And as you can see, there we are. So we have a very curated, very kind of laser pointed list of feedback here. We have our highest impact score items at the top. Our top one is setup here. Couldn't find any Wi-Fi networks. And then it just goes down the list. So Moculus desktop app, there are 2 issues there. Headset fit, 2 issues. Explore store, brief gameplay, etc. And then I have this set up so that I can not only see the title, I can see the steps to duplicate and the severity, but I can also go ahead and just click on that item, and it's going to take me right to the feedback page. Now you can include all kinds of different data sets within a single filter or a view. So feel free to build them as complicated or as simple as you'd like to match your needs as an admin. In our next video, we'll go ahead and check out the dashboards that we use within Centercode to take a look at all of the data streaming into our platform. We'll check out 3 dashboards that are very, very helpful in running your project. And I'll also break down our Delta KPIs that give you a snapshot of not just the health of your project, but also your different phases and your features. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you there.